How do you guys feel about having uniform shorts?
Grade 12 is going to be tough because you guys are going to play 12. Is there heat?
I feel like uniform shorts are underrated here because I know summers get hot. The easy usually is during warm temps, it's like 30 degrees, it's not comfortable at all. Plus you're sweaty, you know, it's wasting 2 3 to go home, so it would be convenient to get a short.
Just to add also that these times get really stuffy when they're hot, like on the sweat, just gathers up, so you get really nasty.
Do the girls wear shorts? Yeah, I've heard some girls say they're not comfortable in the kiln, whatever.
I think that's personal preference, but it would be convenient just to have it as an option for everyone. Some girls will be comfortable with this, some others won't.
Some say because it doesn't have pockets, shorts, right? I don't know. Nowhere to put yourself.
Not really would wear shorts because I just think it's convenient in the summer especially, it does get stuffy in the past. So yeah, I would say shorts is a great idea.
Okay, good. And just so you know, student council did present today at the staff meeting. So the staff about shorts did a lot of work as far as prepping that, finding what other schools have it, what the price point might be, those sorts of things. And staff was all for it. So they were even signing the petition, right? So the staff signed the petition. So that's a good thing. Now they got to present it to the parent council because the parents are the ones that are going to buy it. So there's input and things in there. Yeah, good.
Okay, so next topic is what improvements can be made around the school? So the issues you guys have at the school that you guys want to see improve, or any issues generally?
What would make it better is the upkeep of the bathrooms. Like sometimes there's no soap or toilet paper. Actually, a lot of times there's no soap or toilet paper. And also another thing would be better hygiene in the cafeteria. Like they could wear gloves and have one person manage the whole money part of it, and the other people manage the food only. Sometimes they get cross between them. And what else?
The easy, personally, I get awkwardly it really is uncomfortable, especially like when I'm getting into the school, like the easy on during the year, actual school is on the way to be. So I was something that makes sense for it to be fully, the easy should to be on during some school, not during actual school, so that can be on during the year, that would be great.
Yeah, just a few regards to those things. So the bathrooms for sure. You gotta let us know if there's supplies that aren't in there because I mean, like staff doesn't use the washroom, right? So there's no, that the caretakers will make changes that is necessary, but they're cleaning like floors and all that stuff, trying to do as much. There's only 3 guys who clean the whole school at night, right? Every single night, so that's very. But so stuff like the soap dispenser, they may not check to see if there's soap in that dispenser because they're doing other stuff. But for sure, we want to replace what's necessary. The cap. Just so you know, the cafeteria workers don't work for me. So that's a private company that the board contracts out, and it's about a lot of different things. But it's not saying that we'll just tell them to do this or change this menu or lower the price, stuff like that. Because they're a for-profit company. If the school was running the cafeteria, we would say, let's just make enough money to break even. They don't do that. They have to pay staff and they make a profit, just like it is. So it's a little bit different in that way. The air conditioning, I totally agree. There's a lot of issues with the heating and cooling in the school. Probably because the school was built in 3 different sections at 3 different times. Seriously, when I was a student here, when I started, this whole part wasn't here. The school ended at where the cafeteria is, and ended at where the business classes are. So the end of the gym hallway, this whole part wasn't here. And that was the 3rd stage that was built. So it was built in different sections. So I don't know if that's why you go to certain areas and it's really cold, certain areas it's really warm. That's why. The air conditioning, there are regulations around air conditioning, like when it's turned on. So the board will have a regulation about when we turn it on. So if it gets real warm in like April, the air conditioners won't go on. So the boards save money, it costs money for the air conditioner. So that's why they'll run it in summer school, because it's summer. And you might say, well, in June, we're hardly here. But that's when they do it. So we can have some local autonomy on that, but there has to be a little bit of a different reason. So there's a little bit of regulations that go in that. So it's not as easy as me going to the wall, trying it out. It's a process.
For those regulations, I think it would be beneficial to tell the students what they are, because you are saying that there's regulations, but if students don't know what they are, then they don't know what to complain about it.
Yeah.
So if there's a regulation, if you tell us, oh, it can't be turned on in April, the students will stop complaining about it in April, because it's something that we can't control.
Yeah. And I don't know if I need them to stop complaining with it, because the way regulations change is by people saying this isn't acceptable. I just so you know, sometimes it's not as easy as this is the reason why. Now, that being said, if it's real hot in April, I'm gonna bang on someone's door until they do what needs to be done. And I think, weather patterns are changing. So, you'll notice it's warmer at certain times than it was before. So that has to be accounted for, sure.
So is it like a place to see the regulations? Or?
No, because it's not like a published regulation, it's just, this is what we do this based on facilities and stuff like that. So it's, because it's private, right? But we can definitely get that stuff straightened out, or we gotta get something changed. Do that easy.
Something that DC wanted to bring up is motion sensor lighting in the classroom, similar to how they do it in the portables, where if there's like no movement in the portables, the light will turn off to save energy. Is that something that would be possible to implement in the classrooms?
It's something to suggest. I know some schools have done it, been retrofitted in that, in some meeting rooms. They don't carry boards because they used to teach their had that in some of their rooms. What if they had it in classrooms? I don't know, that's a good question. It might be something to suggest. That's not something that we do, like a school budget is used for that. There's other budget lines that are used for that. But that's something to consider. And that's a good point.
So like, who should we suggest that to, if you're saying that we suggest it to other people?
Well, that would be, one thing is, C-SLIT and some of that, they started like the larger student voice organization, I guess, is the word. Because that might be a policy that goes out that board would investigate, but definitely that's something that I can put up to my superiors and say that might be something we want to investigate. How does that happen? Because the problem with a lot of these things is, even though it saves money over time, it's an initial upfront cost. And the board gets funded per year, right? So they get an X number of dollars per every one of you. And they've heard things that we're about $20 million short of what we're running. And so they're saying, it would be great to save money in the long term, but we just don't have the money upfront to do that. Because it's not like you can say, I'll pay it over 5 years. No, they say you gotta pay it right now. So you have to have that upfront money. But no one would find the money and they didn't think there was a need for it. So for sure.
Something else that DC wanted to bring up is, we did our waste audit recently
Okay.
in October, and we found that compared to last year, it was worse. And so we want to try to work on improving that. Some like initiatives that we want to do is post compost bins in the cafeteria. Is that something that our school will be able to do? Have composting?
They suggested all schools have that.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of, it's one thing to have compost bins.
Yeah.
But then who does that, right? So who's gonna collect that, who's gonna put it up? I can talk to the caretakers, because I know there's been some regulations that have been put in place. A lot of elementary schools are doing that because it's a lot easier to do, right? They have a compost bin in classrooms, kids eat in the classroom, they put it there, they have litterless lunches now, I know my kids have that, so they don't have to throw it out. If she gets in the hall, throw it out in my garbage, so what you're saving, but, so I can definitely talk to that. I know that was something that's out there, and a lot of high schools are like, great. The other problem is how many places do we have compost bins? Because kids eat in the halls too, right? So it might be just in the cafeteria, and then we kind of grow from there.
Yeah, start in cafeteria.
So let me look into what that looks like.
Okay.
What else was worse than we saw? I'd like to know if I haven't seen the results of it.
Like just a comparison from garbage to recycling. So like garbage being in recycling, recycling being in garbage. And like I think an issue that's like causing that is separations of the two bins. So for example, there's a recycling bin over there, but there's no garbage bin. And so when people see that there's no garbage bin, their first instinct is, oh, I don't want to walk to go find a garbage bin, so they'll just throw it right there.
So they have both.
So like have both of them beside each other in the hallways, and like outside in front of the school, maybe garbage and recycling that's there too.
Okay, garbage. Yeah,
So recently, the announcements have been changed, so there's no afternoon announcements anymore. Do you guys find that this is a good thing? And, what do you guys think about the way you find out like information about like school events and stuff? Is it like working for you, or do you guys have to like search too much for like what's going on in school?
Sometimes I'll be listening to like 15 minutes announcements in the morning when I'm just getting to school and just roll out of it. So I think, especially morning announcements, no one really pays attention to. We kind of consider an extra 15 minutes for ourselves. I think it's really beneficial is posters around the school, especially if they're really bright colors. I usually pay attention to those around morning announcements. And yeah, the afternoon announcements, I really haven't noticed until you brought it up. But I think I think that's a really good thing that you guys think about, because I never really technically had afternoon announcements. But yeah, the morning announcements, I wouldn't say is very beneficial.
What if some schools do announce morning announcements at the end of period? Instead of the beginning?
Yeah.
Because if it's too late, it's still here the announcement.
I think they should just have it at the beginning, that's what they do.
Well, there's also like students at first period that want to hear something else and that don't hear it, and then don't really just like when you try to discuss it with those students either don't listen or they weren't there on time or they just forget the announcement. So if we have it at the period one, maybe it'll give them some time for them to come to school and they can also hear the announcement.
So the staff sometimes has feedback about that saying, well, then I gotta, at least having it at the beginning means we haven't started everything yet, right? And then we can go with the stuff that I know I'm not gonna be interrupted at the end. See, the problem with me is, if it still takes 15 minutes to start the class, without announcements, and then you cut the class done by 10 minutes, then you have the gate in. If at 8:30, we do the prayer, the prayer and the anthem, and then you're into it, and people are actually there, great. Right, so maybe it takes a little bit of time. Because I think some people account for the fact that the class doesn't actually start until like 8:45, so I'll kind of get myself there at 8:45. Especially if my first grade teachers and all that stuff was late. But if you're still going with that, then you're missing 15 minutes of class. So it'll take some time to sort of change that one, but that's been talked about. I know that we can, let's just do their announcements of that.
That's why I feel like, since, like, personally, I'm starting to be at small town, like, Thanksgiving, let's say everyone Tuesday, and they usually start, I can't leave this, and have no business in the last one. So if I think afternoon hours are beneficial to kids who that's like sleeping anymore, or just late to school in general, just don't get anything else.
Yeah, this is going to sound simple. I'm not going to make policy for people who aren't abiding by, something like that.
If you're late and you miss it, it's your fault.
We shouldn't make stealing illegal because then I wouldn't have stuff. Well, that's not the greatest thing in the world, right? People who want to steal things, just make it fun, steal things. Right, we're not gonna do that. But there might be some different ways to do things that make it more suitable. Another suggestion, great suggestion is, because we have most of the announcements go on the video screens as well, right? So there's already somebody who's already entering that stuff. And so the possibility would be, does anybody use like the Remind app? Say teachers use the Remind. I use it with staff. Is if there was a school-wide Remind app that any students could sign up for, and the announcements would just be sent as a file that you could get it, and that way you can read the announcements wherever you want, right? You consume your information whenever you want, instead of at this one time when it's determined that everybody needs to look there. Might be a different way of doing it too. Not to replace, but in addition to. Because they're already written out. It's like someone's already written it out. What we need to do then is those last minute announcements that are just running in, like those are terrible, right? I don't even name one of them. Like those robotics announcements, these last few mornings have been running in and people saying stuff as that's unacceptable. Like, who's listening to that? Right? No one. And it's pushing it, it's ridiculous. So you gotta change that. So right now, we say that the announcement should be in the night before. Mr. Murphy, who's the guidance secretary, takes up all those announcements, puts them in a file. That file can be attached to a remind message that goes out every day. And then you can look them on your phone as you want. I mean, your generations consume what I want to consume with things, right? Like Netflix, I watch movies, I watch TV when I want to, not when someone tells me to, right? I'll buy one song instead of the whole album. Why would I buy anything else? That's my generation. Why do you guys have to listen to announcements when we tell you to listen to announcements? Why don't you just consume them on your own? Seems to me that would make more sense. Because we can get it out really easily. That's like 2 seconds. So that's maybe something that we're going to explore for sure, because it seems to be an ongoing thing. Good. What else?
Okay, so with collaboration with state schools, they want to know if there's any safety issues with school. So for example, crossing, we want to get them to cross along or how traffic is.
So there's always a, is that the parking lot, the country club? That's, yeah. From there to the school, there needs to be a crosswalk.
It's going to be. So 2 years ago, Ms. McLean's civics class did a petition, did a whole presentation to city council, they approved it. So there is a crosswalk that's coming in. They said January, I still have to check with Councilor Ainsley, he's our city councilor. And it's going to be going in there. That only works if people use it. Right? So people who walk in through Vaughn's Field, like in the bus, and they walk in, they gotta walk to the crosswalk instead of just walking across. And, we'll see how that works. I hope it works. The one thing everybody should know, and I'm trying to get it out, is in April, the whole back parking lot is being worked on. So you didn't charge that now. It's be 50 times worse, because what that means is no one's allowed in the parking. So parents who are dropping off will have them drop off in front of the school. Or my suggestion, let little princes and princesses walk a little bit. Just drop you off the end of the street instead of coming in. Like when I was 2 here, my dad wouldn't even come near it. He barely slowed down as we turned at Morningside and Military Trail, and I jumped out and walked up the street because it was busier than this happened. There was no one street when I was here, that whole subdivision didn't exist. So it was like one lane constant. But it's gonna be terrible. Like the whole back parking lot's being ripped off. You're not gonna have any access to that driveway at all. So it's in and out that one driveway. So things are gonna have to change. At least for someone April, May, June, July.
Public traffic, for sure. You cannot stop in the middle of the hallway with your bag on. That just creates so much more, like, everyone stopping, everyone pushing, like, really not necessary. Go to your locker, just don't stop in the hallway, keep to one side. It's really not.
Well, I think there needs to be, we talked about the grade 11s, maybe council or somebody wants to make some instructional videos or some public service announcements. It can be funny, but it's a reminder of things like, don't do this, or don't do that. Maybe there needs to be signs. That's why I can't go to malls, honestly, because people just stop in the middle. Yeah, or the one thing that I think to go to is so many people sitting down in the hallway, like on the ground, like it's a trespassing all over the place. And in some of our hallways, like here, that would be an issue, but gym hallway, like the older part of the school, that's really, really narrow, that's a disaster.
I actually have a question. Considering the size of the school, why is the school so overpopulated?
Because people will come here, that's why.
But
School's not
isn't
that
there-
big for this many people.
But isn't there?
The school's built for just under 1,100.
Yes.
There's 1,307. There has been portables in this school since it opened, every single day. There was a lot more when I was, there was probably, because when I started, none of this was there, right? None of that part of the school was there. So, but we still had 1,400 students. So there was 25 portables instead of 13. But that's why we're petitioning to get an extension from. We're working real hard to try to do that. We need more space. It's absolutely true. But the truth of the matter is, if students will come here, they'll let people come. That's how you It might.
Because I think that's actually a safety hazard in itself. I mean, going up the stairs, it'll be like literally 30 just trying to go up the same stairs. Especially because the stairs are built so short and narrow kind of thing, so it is kind of setting us up to trip over something.
Well, I would say, like, there's no fire regulations that are being, that's very strict, right? It says you can only have, you have to have X number of exits, they have to be a certain width, they have to be this. You have to have a certain number of alternate routes and all those things. So fire regulations were fine with all those things. But you're right in the fact that you feel the crunch, you feel it in specific areas more than others, right? There's some stairwells that almost never get used. And it's just a matter of flow and where that goes from. But you're right, the more things that we can, the more voices we have saying that the school needs more space. And the irony is we have space. We have a lot of room, like grounds, that we can easily make the school bigger. We don't need that big parking lot, actually. It's just a lot of wasted area, So, and like the courtyard is nice to look at, but we live in Canada. Right? Seriously, it's a nice, it's a lot of space. So there's maybe things that we could do, right? But that means like you're hearing about it, right? So the more you talk about it with people, with parents are voters. They're the ones who politicians listen to. So the more they talk about that, the more that's why we have these postcards that maybe somebody got that's petitioning for like a community hub, and that community hub is the idea of staying in school and having services here in the community. An auditorium that the community can use, an increased weight room, exercise areas.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Does the extension include like an auditorium?
That's the proposal. The school was built to have one, right? That's why, there's a big grassy area where there's no trees right up next to the school. And next to where the greenhouse is, that's the only area on the school where there's no trees. If you go on Google Earth and see the school, there's trees everywhere except this one spot. That was phase 4. That was meant to be an auditorium. That's why you can go through, right next to the drama and music room, there's a door. That's actually a hallway that stops, goes nowhere. It was meant to extend there. That's why there's a parking lot in front of the school. You ever wondered why that student little parking lot was there? It was that, we have enough spots in that. It was meant for that. It's meant to be the parking lot that they could expand for an auditorium, community theater. So that's what we're pushing for. The problem is the ministry doesn't fund auditorium. They won't build auditoriums. So we have to get partnerships with other groups who could, say, access that. So we're saying it's going to be used by the community. And even you guys who are going to graduate, it doesn't mean you're still not going to be part of the community. You might still be part of the Scarborough community. You might live there. You might be able to utilize these facilities for certain things. My daughter dances, and we live in Pickering, where we have to go out to like North Ajax because there is no place to go. There is no community access auditorium. Is there one in Scarborough that you know of? But those are connected schools too, right? So that's what we're petitioning for. So the more talk about that, the more the better. And who wants to talk about it? It has to be your parents, it has to be voters. You guys are gonna be voters soon. That's who politicians listen to that, because that's how they get their jobs back. It's that simple. It is that simple. Right? They want to stay politicians, they need votes. Your votes. They will listen, they listen to me sort of, if a voter says it, yeah. I don't vote here.
Okay, so we would like to know your ideas on having like a museum in the school or like a gym. Oh, yes.
Grade 11.
I just put another question for you, was I'm saying, don't carry cash, don't carry cash. ATM is would actually be perfect.
So, but an ATM meeting, somewhere you use debit,
Where you can take out,
we take out cash.
And
I think that should be okay.
But you need a debit machine for cash. Now that's them, right? That's business. That's up to them to do. And the probability of that is your prices will go up. Because you charge a service to have that in. You pay to have a debit.
Yeah, we
So
have.
we have a debit machine in the office now. So that you can pay registration fees, those sorts of things, you can pay with debit. That costs us money, we rent that every month, right? So a company would do that too. A lot of companies won't do it now, they won't charge it because, or it's absorbed into your pricing anyway. You don't know you're paying for it, but you're paying for it. Right? But the idea of a cash machine here, I've never even heard anyone ask me that. That's an interesting proposal. I have no idea how to get a cash machine into a school. Maybe that's something we need to do. I mean, variety stores have it, and you pay like $1.50 every time. That's how they make money. I wouldn't want to have that. I don't know if you can get one that's just free. I don't even know how to do that. But I can look into it. You never look into it.
I don't think there's a point, like, a majority of the school doesn't use debit cards or credit cards to pay for stuff. Like at school, and stuff is so cheap that you wouldn't like really want to.
Well, I mean, I think it's worth investigating at least the idea of it, because I think that the cash society is becoming less and less fake. I like the idea. I was the one who brought in the debit machines for registration because I was not comfortable with students carrying around that much cash at registration time. And parents coming in on a grading registration with $300 cash. And then us in the school having, you can imagine how much we have, right? If you think about it, we have 300 people registered on registration day. Activity fees $100, white fines $100, gym uniforms or whatever. That was all cash. So at any given time, we would have, right after grad or at registration day, we'd have $300,000, $400,000 cash in the safe room. We're not supposed to deal with that, and I don't feel safe with that. So I was one who wanted to get a debit, because debit's safer, right? You're not worried about somebody stealing something or losing. And at least one time every year, we have during registration, somebody comes up and goes, I lost my registration. $100. Problem to explore, I have no idea. I'll get back to you. Oh, no, that's a good one.
Okay, so some students are having issues with the Wi-Fi because they're having troubles logging in, or there's like dead zones in the school where the Wi-Fi is not working. So what do you guys have done? You guys have a problem with it too, or?
So I'd like to know, one, what those areas are. I know like the down by the 114 history area, but the board has, the IT department of the board has contracted, they're gonna fix the Wi-Fi. They know areas that they can remotely tell, right? They can look up, there's a computer program that'll say, this access point, which they're all labeled, isn't working at its capacity. There's one right over there. Those are the ones over there on the wall back there. That's the access point. But maybe there's dead areas where the signal just doesn't overlap. I'd like to know, I think they do those things at night. My understanding was that they were coming last Thursday night. I'd like to know if some of the areas that you got for traditionally bad are still bad, or if you can check on it.
The chapel is one. If there wasn't Wi-Fi, you could barely get Wi-Fi in there. Now it's like stable.
Yeah, it's
But it's not as quick as.
Yeah, right.
The chapel, they.
It looks like it's improved.
Yeah.
Okay. So I wouldn't mind if there was areas where you said, oh yeah, it's always like that. If you checked since last week, if it's still
Yeah,
dead.
the hallways are better, the gym hallways.
It's better now.
No, it's still,
Oh, it's not.
teaching rooms, you don't get Wi-Fi running in the teaching rooms at certain stairs.
Why would you need Wi-Fi? The thing is, there's an analysis that comes in, a group comes in and says, okay, to make Wi-Fi accessible is the largest strength, but we have a budget, right? So for instance, there's certain areas where you don't need Wi-Fi, where you do not need Wi-Fi in the shade rooms. No, you don't. So if I have to choose between making it stronger in classroom or making it stronger in change room, I'm gonna choose classroom. Like that's really the goal, is that there's strong Wi-Fi in common areas and classrooms, right? So the common areas would be library, in our case, library, cafeteria. Gym. Even the gym it can be hard to have, in some ways it's easier to have a Wi-Fi signal in there because there's no walls, but it can be hard because wall space versus signal strength. right? Because if you can only put it in so many places, and it has to be covered in the gym, because if it's destroyed by fall hitting or something like that, then that might compromise its strength as well, so you should cover. So it's always a balancing act with that. But if it needs to be strong, I need to know, because they need to tell them you didn't do your job. So if you wouldn't mind doing that and then letting us know, letting the council know, letting me know, it's not strong enough where it's supposed to be.
Okay, so we asked the grade nines about how they felt coming into the school or being new. How do you guys feel you're being prepared to exit the school and to go into post-secondary?
Do you think you know what you need to know to leave?
Yeah.
You're good? Is there any comments?
I think guidance did a good job of filling you in on when you need, stop there and doing that. You have a chance now, you're looking back on your days. What would you do different? What would you want us to do?
So I remember when I was in grade 9, high school was like a party for me. I used to take it on myself to like skip class and just make a lot of friends and just make the year count. So if I were to be a counselor, I would just reinforce how important it is and how easy everything's gonna catch up on you in a couple of years. It doesn't seem like a couple of years, it just hits you out of nowhere. So I would just reinforce the importance of actually going to school and get your stuff together and start thinking from grade 9 what you really want to be doing a couple of years from then, because like, it depends. You have to decide whether you're going to college or university. It just depends on a lot of things. So I would get grade 9 to just think more thoroughly about what they want for themselves.
The message is grade 12 is too late to start thinking.
Basically, yeah. Yeah, it all starts from grade 9.
Good message.
Try to be involved in school.
That's good. So, I mean, if there's anything else, I'd like some feedback, if we could, just about Wi-Fi stuff, facility stuff. Remember that you gotta let us know, or there's no way we could. But I do want to fix
That's a really good one. If you really want to, you try, but like, you don't work, you just give up on it.
The thing is, they have protocols that go through the whole network, which the whole network is everywhere, right? Including, there is a difference in some years for elementary or things. Like for elementary, it's terrible. It's not, I can, depends on what you're doing. There's different levels of protocol. I can definitely say that maybe, if I can see a use for it, right, if somebody says, like, you see something about, mentioned something about a daily story.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means, I don't use that.
So basically what it is, you post the story to us, whatever you post it, it'll be there for 24 hours. So whoever checks it, it'll be there. So like the grade 11s are saying, I really experience, and that a lot of them are using Snapchat, and that's fine, right?
Board security is very concerned with the problem. So they're like, we need to be fast. There's obviously concern, right? Because we could be getting. So, but I can see, like, here's a good use of it. Let's take a big area. Can you return that stuff to me? Just the camera and the computer? Just, whatever. And then you get your concept up anyway. But that's up to me.